I will now call this meeting to order. And I guess the first item will be the minutes from last week. Do
Last month.
I have a motion
For last month.
for last month? I'm sorry.
I moved the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let us show that has been passed. Old business.
For this one, we have our first call-in for HPC. The petitioner was not able to be here. Her daughter's having surgery up in Canada, but she wanted to be here to answer your questions. So we're gonna try calling her and see how this goes.
This is for what now?
So the sidewalk that they've already done some stone work on.
The green stone on the stone.
Okay, so this is actually new business.
It was here
It was
last.
carried over from last month.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't, were you not here last month? She wasn't able to attend, so we carried it over.
Thank you.
Is this 15 Madison?
It's,
Harrison.
115 Harrison.
Harrison.
11:50.
11:15 Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison. Diamond Hill.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, Gary. This is Madison. We will call you when we get through the other items on the agenda. Hopefully it's off at the moment. So we can make a motion to move on to the next items and then get back to her at the end of the meeting?
Sure. So I motion that we move 11:15 Harrison.
Here we go.
She's calling back.
Hello, Clary.
Hi, Victoria, how are you?
Hi, just fine. You're on speakerphone right now with a microphone, and the HPC is right in front of us.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, Rick, take it.
Yes, ma'am. Could you explain what your project is and what you're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish?
So we purchased the house almost a year ago in February, I guess March actually. And initially, the intent was to fix up the stairs because they were, if you saw by the pictures, obviously a safety concern. So I had someone that was coming over to look at doing a few things inside the house and maintaining the yard work, and he was going to do the stairway for me. And then just as we started, he started on the project, started fixing it up. It was actually, he's a local person that had this idea about introducing the greenstone to it and had explained that it was native to Lynchburg. And to be quite honest, again, I apologize for not being really on top of the whole process, but I was so excited about the prospect of it, just making it way more attractive than just the plain ordinary broken stairway, that I never really, it never really crossed my mind about this process. So once it was brought to my attention, this is where we're at. And to be honest, the stairway had already, as you can probably see by the pictures as well, has already been started with the stone, the natural green stone.
To update you that Emmett did meet with Miss Ella Stretch, and he.
Yes, ma'am. Someone else is speaking. We've heard you, and you're still here.
Emmett, her advocate, met with her and said that he would approve what has been done and what is proposed to be done. He mentioned that repairs are required for the concrete structural retaining elements and that they are adding a range of stone materials to animate the steps, basically all concrete before, but one can find all grades of sizes and textures of stone on stairs in the Harrison Street and the district. For him, the work is keeping with the whole of the district, and it's not an exact replica, but he sees historic districts as vibrant zones of varying materials, so he is fully comfortable with what is happening to the steps.
We have further discussion on the steps. I personally don't feel that they meet the guidelines, and I don't know of any other steps that look like that in the historic district.
I think I'm kind of like-minded. I would have liked to have seen, if this approach was being used, some more uniformity, or there's such a wide diversity. Some, it looks like flakes, and some are quite large stepping stones and everything in between. Having said that, it looks like it's already in concrete in there.
Is it just one set of steps?
Um,
It looks like it's so many different,
One second, it's just one set of stairs.
okay.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like now?
That's what it used to look like.
I think the best solution for this would have been to repair them in kind. Just keep it simple.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. You probably can't hear us, but we're discussing this on the panel.
Okay, I'm sorry. If you need, I can't hear, but if you do need me to answer again, just let me know. Sorry.
What we've discussed so far is the fact that this is unlike anything that we've seen in the historic district, and probably the easiest route to have gone with this would have been to replace them in kind. With that said, can we see that picture again, Victoria, of the front? What if we, all those steps done, all where the pumpkins are too? How about if we just took the risers, cleaned those risers, and just let her keep the pavers on the concrete? I think it's the risers that's really sort of, that's visually kind of.
So if I understand you're saying we need to remove it from the steps and only have it on the riser part?
No, what I'm saying is, you have the very first, I think it's the first step. What we're saying is I think we're discussing, we have not given any, we haven't had a motion yet, but what we're discussing is the possibility of you leaving just the leaving the treads, which is the part you put your feet on, where you walk, and the risers, which you only seem to have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are visible from the street. Just remove those and make those plain concrete, like where you have those pumpkins in the picture. Those risers are just concrete, and so that's what we're discussing right now. Would you be, would that be okay with you if we did something like that?
Well, I mean, obviously, that much is already, a lot of work has been put into that already.
I know that. Unfortunately, we understand that. That's why that's why we're trying to kind of come in between here and see what
Exactly.
what can be done.
So, I mean, I'm not a masonry or anything, but would we just have to slap some cement over top of the front of that now and just cover that back up? That's what you're talking?
Well, what I was saying is to remove those small little stones, and I guess that I see one that has some bigger ones on it.
Do you think that putting concrete
Yeah,
on?
there was one. I don't know if you can see the before pictures, but the whole reason that
Let's see
it
the
actually
before.
started into that spot was because there's one stair, probably where that really big one is, that was quite a large hole that would have taken, it needed something to fill it in first before we could do the cement. So I think that's where that came from initially, was on one of those stairs at the front like that. But I mean, maybe if we can just put the concrete over the top and cover it up, and you'd be happy with that. That
Well,
would probably be the least.
I don't know that, yeah, if you put concrete on the top, that's gonna make the risers, the treads a little too long on one end and a little too short on the other. I think you'd have to remove it. But we haven't made a decision yet. We're still discussing this, so,
Okay.
that's.
I did have the local historical Emmett, and I'm sorry I don't have his last name with me right now. I am still in my car. He did come by, and well, first of all, we had numerous people that stopped, neighbors that had indicated how nice it was looking and that it was making a big difference. Including Emmett, who came by, had a visit to see what exactly we were doing, and he had indicated that he would give it his blessing, and being on being the historical person. Obviously, he was the person I was told that would be a good person to talk to get an idea of where he thought it would go. But
Yes,
just in
ma'am.
case you weren't up to speed with that.
Yeah, we are. We have his statement. He unfortunately is
Okay.
not here today, but Victoria did read his comments to us, so we do have that in
Okay.
front of us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Do we have any further discussion? Do I hear a motion?
Well, I agree with you. I think a good attempt to approach this would be to replace the rises and keep the stair treads. I don't think she can put concrete over the rise. I think it'd make it too fat. It would totally change the dimension of the stairs.
So if you want to make a motion?
I make an emotion with, that the stair rises be replaced to a solid concrete front, and that the stair itself, top, treads, would be accepted as presented with the greenstone and the concrete pavers as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Ma'am, so what we just voted on was to basically do what we just discussed, is to replace the risers. I think there's 4 of them. Not to just put concrete over them, but to remove the stone and repair the original stair as it was. The landings you can leave, and I believe that since you can't really see them, if you have more risers as you turn the corner, I think we'd accept that. You could leave those since you can't see them from the street. So it's basically four risers.
Okay, so I'm cutting out a little bit, but am I to understand the risers at the front, we need to remove where it turns the corner, because those ones have already been completed?
No, I think once you get up to the top, like there's, I don't know, it seems to be about 8, 9 stairs or so, and you turn the corner. Yeah, so basically what we're talking about is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 10 stairs. Out of those 10, the first that you see from the street, I think there's 3 or 4 of those. All those treads, risers, would have to be concrete. When you turn the corner up the top, you could leave those since you can't see those from the street.
Victoria, do you have a picture
Okay,
of the ones?
I can, that's great. I can definitely work with that. So we can Because obviously there's more, all this stone has to be, it has to be all sanded back down or like smoothed
Chipped
out. So there's a lot of work to do, but as long as we're not putting any on the risers from the front, we can finish doing the top of the other stairs. Is that correct?
Yes, but I wouldn't do any more risers with stone on them. Unless if you already have them, we're accepting that, but if you haven't done all of them, then we would say just to please do those
As in kind.
in just concrete,
Okay, yep.
okay?
All right, and we will remove or do what we have to. I hope we can still remove it because it hasn't been sealed yet, so I'm guessing we can chip the front ones off. And then where that one great big piece is, we might have to just, I hope, we might have to just put a skim of concrete over that. Is that going to be okay if we don't get that really big piece out that was put in for a blank space in there?
Well, you're going to have the right, when you do steps like this, you have to have a certain riser versus tread. There's a formula for that. So you can't have wider treads as you go up because you'll have a tendency to trip. Same with your risers. So all your risers have to be the same. All your treads have to be the same. So
I don't know if you've seen. I mean, the original stairs. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but the original stairs are totally, all wonky as far as heights and widths, and I'm guessing that's because it's over 100 years old. We just tried to keep it.
well, yeah, I understand I understand you. They probably weren't originally before you started. I guess what I'm saying is, you should do your due diligence
Yeah.
in that you try to maintain the treads all equal in length. So if you're going to try to put concrete over them, I don't know how that's going to work, but
Okay, we'll figure out the best way to do it for sure, and we'll go from there. And I really appreciate the fact that we were able to come to an agreement with it without us having to start all over. So that's great.
all right. Thank you,
Anything
ma'am.
else? Awesome. Thank you, and thank you, Victoria.
No, thank you. Bye.
No, come on, you can go to. I'll give you your perch back.
All right.
Well, that worked out pretty well, Victoria.
That was probably the harder one, I would think.
What a mess.
All right, that was revision, or revisiting
Madison.
on Harrison Street.
Yeah.
That's correct, that was Harrison. Okay, then we can move on to, does it say Oakwood? Where is?
Number 2.
2B? Okay, the address isn't there, that's what's throwing me off.
It's at the bottom, I think. Where is it? It's, wait a minute.
No, he's
Col-
correct.
Colin
Address is-
Anderson? Is Colin Anderson?
Oh, this is Rivermont.
No, yeah, the house off of Rivermont.
Mm-hmm.
It's not here.
Not here. Or the Myers, Sherry or Thomas Meyer? No? Okay, moving on then. We can come back to that if they pop in here late as I did. Let's see, next up would be 1316 Pierce Street. All right. Please, sir, if you would have a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Joseph Shalev, 1316 Pierce Street.
Excellent. Good to have you here, sir. You may go ahead and provide us some details about the project.
Well, I'm just a little bit sick and tired of it looking like this, so do you have a picture? And I bet everybody else is too, so I need to change the siding. There's the original siding there, then there's the cheap, I don't know how to even call those, that's two, okay. Well, that's between the houses. But I would like to put something permanent and looking better. And I thought about, initially, a petition for a hardy plank, but I thought that's a piece of junk too. I found a better idea, which is this plank. I forgot the name of it. I think I emailed you. I think she got confused so many times I emailed her which one is which. So I would like to petition to change it with this kind of siding. Fix it as much as I can, replace it as much as I can. This is 100% wood, and it's made specification for an outside. And this is obviously a little bit wider than I need, but that's what I have. That's first. Second, in the back of the house, I would like to, yeah, it's the lap siding right there. I'm sorry, but it's not fiber cement, hardy plank. It's called lap siding, this thing. There's different manufacturers that make this, and this is the best one. They actually make it with solid wood rather than the fine, I forgot. Yeah, OSB. I hate the OSB, but this is a little bit better than that, than the fine.
And you're looking for
The same. No, this is wider than usual. I need the 6-inch one.
so it would be the
Doing
size
the
of what's on the
6-inch.
house?
Oh yes,
Okay,
the same thing.
gotcha.
No, this for a different project.
Sure.
You know the thickness of that versus the thickness of the siding you have on there?
I
would-
think
it-
the siding itself is probably another 1/16 or another 1/8 thicker than this. But I mean, as soon as you go 2 feet further, I don't think you will know the difference. But the new part, if you go in the picture, the right side of the house,
Does that house actually bow like that, or is that the camera?
It has foundation issues.
it has a lot of issues. You see right here, the nice looking siding right where it says side of the,
Yeah,
that's a newer type that is, and it's as thin as this,
it's what?
as thick as this.
Is that wood, or is that,
It's a composite. And it just falls apart. It hasn't been properly painted or sealed out at all.
you know, I'm looking at that siding there. Is that you that sanded all that down? Scraped it down?
No, yes, I did scrape it down, yes, before putting just a primer just to
But, you
seal
know,
it a little bit.
The, if that paint, I mean, if the siding was, I mean, you've probably got, it looks like maybe 50% of it off. If you took the other 50% off, gave it a good primer base of oil-based paint, that would last. I mean, there's no rot. Right? I mean, there may be some at the base, but I mean, the bulk of the house, I don't see any rotted trim siding on there. The issue with those, you know, the cement board or that, I know that's not cement, but they all have a different profile to them. They're thinner, and I know it does create a different shadow line. You know, you can see, you can clearly see all the shadow lines in here. So the thinner you get, the thinner the shadow line, and the more it doesn't look historic.
Right.
And that's the issue we have with things like this. You know, we do allow other types of siding, usually on the back or the sides if you can't see it from the street. But that would, and if you really needed it, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, you know, the majority of that siding is not rotted, it just needs to be,
Oh, that is before I lifted or made any changes in the actual leveling or anything of the house. As soon as I'm trying to level the house inside, most of that will crack,
what, the siding?
yeah. So I have, my purpose is, first purpose was for me to replace the actual, get somewhere wood that is that kind of wood siding. I can't find anybody.
There is a,
I mean.
you're talking about wood, you're talking
Yeah.
regular wood?
Yeah, I mean, that's what will be ideal to replace what we have.
Have you tried like Taylor lumber?
I tried every single store. That's the closest one that I came to.
You can't find cedar siding?
A what?
Cedar siding?
A cedar siding? Yes, but the cedar siding is, well, first of all, that's not cedar, and second is the thickness is a little bit thicker at the end than that.
What year is your house?
I think 1900s or something, I don't even know.
It's early 1900s.
Yeah, it's probably pine.
And, yes, it is pine, for sure, but you see from the window how rotted is that? You go about three sidings down, everything down there is rotten. It was replaced. Everything.
Yeah, we're
And-
not saying you can't
Yeah.
replace it. We're just deciding what to replace it with.
That's what I need. I need your help. I mean, I'll replace it with whatever you want. I need to
Well,
do
we'd want it
something.
replaced with wood, but
Yeah.
you're saying you can't get it, and, I can't answer that question here. I don't, I would think that I just did a house and put siding, pine siding, but it was in Savannah. It wasn't here. I can't imagine you can't get pine lap siding, but I'm not, denying what you're saying. I just haven't checked on that in a long time.
I mean, I would be so happy if you can check or find me somebody I can ship it from
Well-
Savannah or wherever.
All right, so how should we do this then? What else, didn't you have something else on? You
Yes,
had a window.
that's one. Second part is in the back. If you look, it shows a window.
You want to,
I want to
yeah,
add a window this is the back of my neighbor's house, which is identical to mine.
And you
Mine
wanna-
is the left one and the neighbor's to the right.
and so you want to put a window like his on
Oh.
yours?
Correct, right where the tank is.
Yeah,
That's gonna be, that's the kitchen, and it just doesn't, I mean, who wants to sit at the sink and look at
oh, so you want to put a window
a
there?
wall, you know what I mean?
I
So
thought
that-
so what is up there where the tarp is?
That is a bedroom where the tarp is, on the right side, that's a bathroom, where
Okay.
the window door is. We
And what
don't
do you-
even know what that is.
And what are you doing with that?
That's a very good question.
You haven't
Okay.
decided on that part yet.
Not yet, but I have to, you see, look to the right. I mean, I don't want to put a door where the toilet is, behind the toilet,
Yeah.
because that's where it is. But the right one look on the right side, there is a door there.
Yeah.
So was that a porch before that they went outside right after taking a shower? I have no idea. So, and that's a good question. I mean, I can cover it and just make it a window, but
What is there now? Is that a window there?
yes.
Okay. But you're not asking about that, you're
No, no.
asking about the downstairs.
The lower section,
Yeah,
right behind that.
Yeah, I don't personally don't have a problem with a window there, but I think
Do
you
you
asked.
think- Sorry, Rick. Do you think there was a window on the side, like the neighbor's house on the side, which gave you that light into the kitchen? See where you have
Yes, there is a window on the
the
There's
left
a
dark-
window
side.
there.
So that was where the window was for that room. So
There-
could you put a window back there to make it be original on the side instead of it being on the,
There is already a window
There-
there.
There's one.
where the tarp is?
Yes.
And you're gonna put another window?
I would like to put one right where
Yeah.
the tank
Gotcha.
is.
Okay.
Like about center and to the kitchen in between, left and right. That's gonna be the sink.
Okay, that's fine, but I think he asked for vinyl, didn't he?
Yes.
Same dimensions as the
Well,
window that's in
there's
the
already
other house?
vinyl, yes. The
Yeah.
same dimensions as the matches. There's already vinyl there.
There's already vinyl?
Yes,
When
sir.
was that put in?
I don't know. You gotta know, because
It
you're
was
the historic district.
No, we didn't know, it was probably put in without
Yeah,
permission, it
yeah.
sounds like.
Or it could have been put in before it was historic district.
The
Yeah.
guidelines say that the use of vinyl windows for replacement of deteriorated windows is not generally acceptable.
Yeah.
Although discouraged, they may be considered for use at rear facades not readily visible from the street. And it also says that the addition of new window openings on rear facades may be acceptable.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with that one. So I would move that we approve the window as requested. And how soon did you want to do the siding?
I'm not gonna start before spring.
Okay, so can we table this till next month
Please.
for the siding?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, see what we can find for a more appropriate siding to repair?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I move that we table this until next month for the siding issue.
I do have one more question, if you don't mind, while I was thinking about
Okay.
it. What is your procedure? Can I remove the chimney?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Can I leave it only from the attic and up? Okay, build something in the, to hold that area and remove it, everything at the bottom? Okay, okay. Do I need permission for that?
You need permission from the building department, not from...
Well, no, from you
Any
guys.
exterior
But she was
changes.
also historic district, just so.
Yeah, so not from historic district.
Right.
Okay, good.
So I'll second your motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed, so looks like you're good there, and we look forward to, we'll try our best to provide you some information as quickly as possible as for some alternative sightings.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Thank you. And on the left side right there, do you see the plywood? I mean, I can continue that with the same new side that I would like. Is that okay?
Right.
Instead of leaving it like plywood?
What is that? What is he saying? I'm not.
Oh.
He wants to replace the plywood with the whatever paneling we.
Yeah, that section in the back, can it
Oh,
be,
yes.
can the siding, new siding go over it all the way to the back? Yes.
And where, sorry, you guys are so much more knowledge about this. You see that top, all the way to the top?
Mm-hmm.
That funny looking piece of woods, where do you get that from?
That?
You made
Yes.
it back?
The shingles? Yeah, you'd
No,
probably
it's
have,
wood.
yeah, you'd probably have to have those made.
Yeah.
Have them made.
Yeah, I mean, you can just get regular shakes. and
Regular
then
wooden
they'll-
shakes, yeah.
They'll,
And just
you
cut
know,
'em.
just
But they'll
have
have to be
someone
cut.
just cut that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
If you're the carpenter, I guess you'd be doing it.
thank you. You're so good.
Down with the job site, make a template.
When are you guys coming to help?
Right.
I guess not, huh? Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Shalev, thank you very much. You as well. Next up, we have 1500 Madison Street. Is there a representative for property?
Who's the advocate, Victoria, for that neighborhood?
Me.
You? Good luck.
Greetings.
James Warner, and this is Russ
Let's go.
at 1500 Madison.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Please. go
Okay,
ahead.
well, they have a porch in the back that's on the second story, and it doesn't have railing. And we want to go ahead and just, whatever the front is, put it to the back, and this is what the stiles are, and we're just going to have to elongate them from here to here
Mhm.
so that they would work for the back, because the front's only 30 inches
Right.
or so off, so they're smaller than what needs to be on the second floor.
Sure.
This is on the rear porch, correct?
Correct, yes.
Because I noticed there's a side porch there too. That's kind of...
Yeah, right, that's concrete,
Right.
yeah.
But you're not doing anything with that one?
Nope. That's where the window is that we're just gonna be fixing the trim, and there's some panes that need to be replaced to match what's there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then you had porch roof, or some kind of roof.
And then the roof, yeah, I'm sorry, I had thought it was a metal roof, but it's actually has a fiber underneath, fiber coated roof, so actually,
Are
what
we
I
talking
wanted-
about the porch roof? Because I noticed the main roof is slate.
Yeah, well, there's slate, and then there's metal in the back, and then
Oh.
the front porch has been redone or whatever, at whatever point. So, and there's areas that need to be built up. And so what I'd like to use is, this is a Acromax, but there's a comparable that Sherwin-Williams makes. But this is an actual system, and I wanted to give it to you guys, you know, and you can have it because it's actually for metal roofs,
Well,
and
now
it's
with-
been used historically in other states. And I'd like to at least, there's two different ways to use it as
Right,
far as
and-
how bad the metal is, but I just figured I'd give that to
One of the ways is
you.
putting a mesh down and you
Yeah.
go over that. Is that what you're?
That's,
planning?
that's if it's really bad,
Right.
you use a mesh. And you use a mesh where if everything else is okay and you just got some rust and you've got a little bit more damage or holes, you use, they have that's used for the bulletproof vest.
Kevlar.
Kevlar, it's Kevlar infused stuff, and you put that down, then mesh, and then that down, that's how you build up and also protect from holes. And this has actually been used for years, but now it's, everybody can have that product out, and that's why Sherwin-Williams makes a comparable product that I want to use for his house to build up.
You can't even see that porch roof. What's the pitch on it? Is it almost flat?
It's maybe a 1, and that's what this stuff is made for, flat roofs, metal roofs, asphalt, you name it, it's made for it covers every.
Yeah, I know, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't do is go up the street, which is coming down the hill. And I don't know if, can you see the porch roof from there?
You can see the edge of it, but not the whole roof.
Okay. And do you have a color?
Are you just going back to
Just
black?
go back to black. I mean,
Yeah, it's just
as
black
it
is up
now.
there, we just have to pad some areas because he's got water just sitting, and we want to go ahead and try to get it to wash off, and it's very old.
I move that the application be approved as submitted.
Second?
Any further discussion, questions, comments? Hearing none opposed, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Looks like you're good to
Just
go.
a little help, that lady that called,
Yes.
with that stone, you can, I've been doing it over 40 years. What you can do, so you don't have to, so that lady doesn't have to take out those 4, is you can scratch that stone, and then you can put a mortar on there, and you can even use
Oh,
a,
that's true, right over top.
you know, and then that way you're not adding, and you would be within the tolerances, and so that lady wouldn't have to pull it, because you start pulling that out, depending on how new that is, she's gonna pop her, treads, possibly. So with this way, you get what you want, she gets what she wants, and there's no further damage gonna be caused to the.
Well, maybe you ought to give your number to her.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out here.
Well, that's fine, I mean, I'm serious, I mean.
Okay, yeah,
you
no, I
know,
have no
it's,
problem, yeah.
We
She
can
might
do that.
appreciate that.
So,
Okay.
maybe that's something you can do, Victoria. You have
Yeah, I'll
some-
get with Victoria this week.
All righty.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it
Thank
very
guys.
much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next up, we're looking for 478 Rivermont Avenue.
So far, so good, haven't had any threats.
Y'all have a good holiday.
Thank you, you as well.
Bye-bye.
Holiday.
Greg Brochon, 478 Rivermont Avenue.
Excellent, good to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
Please go right ahead.
I would like to build a 2-car detached garage at my property on 478 Rivermont Avenue. It's going to be a wooden building with pretty much gables to match the house. Sided most likely in cedar shakes or clapboard, depending on what you guys say generally, and availability. 2 windows on the side, wooden doors, barn style, not with the kind of dome at the top, but just square. I guess that's about it. Oh,
Do you have a drawing?
I do. I believe I've submitted it.
How did you get a permit for this without having to get approval from this committee?
I do not, yes. I had previously a permit, and I did not read it carefully enough and assumed it would still be good for currently building it.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why I started.
But you're still going, right? I drove by earlier this week and there was action going on.
Yes, once it began going, the wind would have knocked it over had I not put the sheeting on it.
Okay.
I mean, do you know that you're in the right setbacks and all that?
Yes, the pad has already been approved. When I first got the original approval.
So you're following the original permit, it's just out of date? It has to
Correct.
be updated,
Yes.
okay, okay.
There's been some very slight changes, but nothing to the exterior, really.
Okay.
I would say that my recommendation is that we need, that you draw a plan, an elevation of that side and front, 2 elevations minimum, that really look like what the garage is gonna look like an architectural drawing. That's what you really need here.
Okay.
We don't need a plan, so to speak,
Mhm.
but if, we need to see the side, the front, we need to, you need to bring in or at least tell us what the windows are, what type windows, who's the manufacturer. The garage doors, same thing. You can draw the garage doors, but, we need a picture to show who the manufacturer, you can just send all that in with the application.
Are you custom making those doors?
The garage doors I will be custom making. The man door is gonna be just, pre-hung wooden
Right.
door.
So, yeah, okay, so if you're man making the doors, you can do a blow-up elevation of that, like maybe half scale,
Mm-hmm.
and, half inch equals a foot sort of thing.
Mhm.
And, do the crosses, tell us what's in between the crosses, what you're using. Are they 1x4s, 1x8s? What are they?
Mhm.
All around the rails, the sides, all that stuff. If they're gonna be, sliding barn doors.
Uh-huh. I haven't
I'm
decided that
doing
yet.
I'm doing that right now.
Uh-huh.
So, if, a good example, Victoria can show you if you need to, she can show you the one that I submitted, I don't know, a year ago, whatever it was, and how I did it. Now, mine might be a little more detailed than we need. I have all elevations. We only need probably those 2 that are visible, because the other sides, we're not too concerned about what you can't see, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, and what the siding is, what the corner boards are, fascia, all that.
Okay.
The whole thing. Draw the roof to the right pitch, let us know what the materials are, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, excellent.
And who's his advocate? Is that me?
That's me.
Oh, that's you? Okay.
You were
So-
asking about siding. As much as you can match what's on your house is what we would prefer to see.
Okay, yeah, that's what my wife wanted anyway, so
Right.
that's what it was gonna be.
What do you have on the house? What is that?
Cedar shakes.
Cedar shakes.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be cedar. We wouldn't necessarily hold you to that, but it would be nice if it looked more like the house.
Mhm.
Again, the pitch of the roof's important too. I mean, I think you said,
I got a 512.
yeah, what's the house?
As best I can tell, it's either a 5 or a 6. It looks
Okay.
dead on, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, if you could get that done,
Mhm.
maybe, if you can do that before you submit it, I mean, Shannon could look at it, or I could look at it, since I'm an architect, and if I see anything, I could, set you in the right direction, make sure that when you bring it in here the second time, it'll, you won't have any issues.
Excellent. That'd be fantastic.
All right, so I guess I'll move that this be tabled until next month's meeting,
Great.
and that the owner will supply a set of architectural drawings
In a materials list.
and a materials list. Drawings to be to scale, 1/4 inch to a foot is fine.
Okay.
Any special details, like the doors, you maybe want to blow that up and show that, and we'll review that for next month's meeting.
Excellent.
Great.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yes, sir.
Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Oh, I'll second that.
Okay, perfect. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Mr. Brochan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy holidays to you, sir. Do we have a representative from 1013 Jackson Street? Crickets?
That's the chimney.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this was a stop work order project.
Mm-hmm.
A lightning bolt struck her chimney,
Yeah.
and we got a call from a neighbor that they were taking the rest of the chimney down. So we went out, we issued a stop work order. Due to missing deadlines, we are going to court this Friday. And we tried to get her in here so that we could discuss this. So,
Has it been, I'm looking at your pictures, I see the one where it was hit, and then it looks like it's gone. Has it been taken down?
that's what it appears to be, yes.
Okay.
So can we still comment on it today?
Yes, she's,
Because, I mean, I think it's pretty clear cut.
her application, what I got from her application was that she was applying to repair, restore the chimney.
Yeah, it says repair it, which is fine.
Right.
So I don't understand, what is she going to court for?
Work without an HPC, or work without a COA.
Okay, so
Not
why
applying
don't
to-
we just,
Can
if,
she rebuild the chimney back? Or
that's
was
what she's saying, that's
I mean,
what I'm reading,
But it's
is,
taken down, but is she planning on rebuilding the chimney?
That's what she says in the application.
Yeah.
so, are we on, is this on, are we commenting on this one? Have you opened this one up?
Not necessarily, but, I mean, yeah, okay, it's open for discussion, that's fine.
Tell us again, Victoria, why she's going to court, that you all have done what?
She did work without a COA,
Uh-huh.
and then she missed several deadlines for the next HPC meetings, which is a code violation, having done work without
Yeah.
applying for it. We get a lot, as you've seen, we get multiple after the facts, but normally that's because we talk to the person, we get them to apply by the next meeting's deadline, which then we just proceed as normal. But when multiples are missed, that's where it moves forward.
So how long has this been going on?
We got, I believe it was August 5th that the email came in, or it was either August 5th that the email came in, or we visited the site.
That the email came in that came
That-
in saying that the chimney was coming down?
Yes.
And what will happen in court if court happens?
If we, it's going to happen, but if it's approved, then we can say that it went before the HPC. She applied for restoring it, for repairing it. She has been given the application with the COA, and the judge may dismiss it. I haven't been to court before, so I'm not entirely sure what may happen, but that was what was presented to me as what might happen.
Well, can we not, I mean, based on if everybody's reviewed this, can we not approve
Yeah,
her
that's what I was
COA
saying.
as submitted with her not being here? We can do that, right? And then she has that going into court?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as she follows this and actually does what she said she's gonna do.
Right. And that's where enforcement would.
Right.
So, in her application, she's saying she hopes to apply for COA for the repair of the chimney. Now,
And that's why I was,
it's a little vague,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
That means
So,
hopes.
I would make a motion that she has permission, or we approve, not permission, we approve the restoration
okay,
in kind
Yeah.
of the existing chimney.
And roof gutters? That's listed
Yeah,
there
she's
also.
got on
Yeah.
there roof gutters and, roof and gutters.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she
That's-
said the
But
bricks
she
landed
doesn't-
in
Bricks
the
landed
gutters
on the
and
roof.
damaged.
Right.
She doesn't
Right.
have the
So-
money right now to do, that's the hope. She doesn't have the
Right.
money right now to
Right.
repair.
If she
to
gets
do the
this, if
repairs.
she gets a COA, she has a year to save her money and work
Yeah.
on this, right? Yeah.
I don't understand why the insurance company wouldn't have paid for a chimney
A
that was hit by
lightning
lightning.
strike, yeah.
But,
We don't know that it's insured. She might
Yeah.
not have insurance.
Yeah.
so,
Should-
I would
Is
say.
she living in the house?
Rick
This
should-
person living there?
not entirely sure.
Okay.
But
I-
we've met with her at the house, and she was reached at the house several times.
Okay.
Okay.
Victoria sounds
So
so
it is habitable.
hesitant.
Well, since we have
She
no
really
information
is.
on the gutters and where she's planning on putting them or the style of gutter, I would say that that portion of the application would not be approved until we get further
All right.
information.
Well, unless we just hold her to the repair of, and you can state that in your
In kind.
motion,
Mhm.
as long as it's repaired in kind. I can't imagine her changing this one section of the gutter completely different with the rest of
And
the
are
house
there
is.
gutters there already? I mean, I didn't, you know, honestly, when I went out there, I was just looking at the chimney, I didn't.
Yeah, gutters
I didn't even know.
there, it's just, I think that's where bricks had damaged the roof when they fell off, and then several, of course, tumbled down and.
Oh, so she just wants to repair where the roof was, where they were
Yes,
damaged?
just the section.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
think
then
that's
the,
fine
And the
then.
gutter where the bricks impacted on their way down.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Then we can approve the chimney, you know, whatever I said in there, and then, and also approve the gutters
And roof.
And roof,
repair yeah,
Yeah.
gutter and chimney repair in kind, however you want to word that.
All right, gutters, roof, and chimney.
but if there's any question that she has or concern about what materials she thinks she wants to deviate from, she would have to,
Yeah.
All right.
that wouldn't be covered in this motion
So
here,
this would
of
be all
course.
in kind, so the bricks would be put back as the bricks that she took
Mhm.
down?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
For the
yes, in
chimney.
kind,
Or a brick
in
like,
case
or
any
like-
were pulverized, she can get
Right, something like that.
something that's appropriate to match what's there.
That was a pretty tall chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Pretty wide one.
steep roof, too.
All right,
Okay.
need a second?
Second.
Any further discussion, questions, clarifications?
I'm clear, as long as
Yeah.
she understands what's provided her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see where the gutters are in that house.
Yeah, I was looking myself, I'm zooming in, it's hard, unless they've fallen off or
Not
knocked
damaged
off.
hidden gutters somewhere. Maybe they're
Hidden gutters
somewhere.
right
Yeah,
along
hidden-
there.
Damaged hidden gutters at the top.
Uh-huh,
So she's asking to repair the hidden gutters, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, so is that what she was taking down, or is that what it was, I guess she said after lightning struck?
After the lightning strike.
So I can see why she had to take it down, but
Mhm.
she just needs to put it back. Put a lightning rod on it.
Yeah. That's true, that's true. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, show that it passes.
All right.
Thank you.
Then we have just one more, going back to 102 Oakwood Place.
Yep.
And he's not here.
What was that one? You didn't make it on here?
That's
Since
number
the,
B.
Oh,
since he
that
was
is
here
B, okay. Yeah, yeah.
last month, due to the time constraints written in code, you would either approve or deny it. You cannot table it one more time.
Okay, so this was regarding the windows
Didn't
on
Emmett
the
have some
sides and then
comments
the one on the.
this?
Yes, he did.
It's already been worked on, it's already started, hasn't it?
Yeah, and my comment on that was that the windows, the upper sashes should, you know, she shouldn't be putting a window and then a half-round window on top of it. It should have been one unit, and the upper sash should be part of that arch.
Whose comments were these? Emmett's?
Emmett's.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Emmett's.
He visited and spoke with just the contractor.
Hold on.
So I would still, yeah, they still would have to be egress.
Victoria, do you have a picture of the work that's going on?
Mhm. That's the rear.
Are they putting in fire
Okay.
escapes? Or
Um,
the, just the, what's up there now, the stairs going up to
Okay,
these?
can you go back,
That's just the
see that window
contractor
right there?
entrance.
Yeah, just go back to where you were? Nope, no.
It's
Down
basically gonna be ladders.
the material
That
sheets,
one.
that one.
It's gonna
You
be
see that
ladders?
window?
Okay.
What I'm saying is that, you know, he's got a separate window and then that arch on top of it. that arch should be, in other words, it only should be one window. The upper portion should be part, that arch piece should be part of that upper sash as one window unit, not two separate things like that. If there was ever anything up there, it would have been like that. It would have been that type of a window as opposed to that. That's my take on it. And then, Emmett was pretty much in line with us when he said that the front dormer windows could be repaired. They don't need to replace those.
So I'm not a window expert. Help me understand on this one. If it was one unit and we were standing on the street, is it noticeably different? Could you tell the difference? Okay.
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
would
the
see.
space.
Yeah, because you wouldn't
bar.
have a horizontal line
Yeah,
separated.
there would be
separating
framing
them.
at the top that
Gotcha.
separate the two.
So are we supposed to be making a motion on this, or what are we doing with this?
Well, we need to make a motion to either approve it or deny it. Because we can't extend it.
Then I would move that we deny the application as submitted.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I second that. I'm inclined to agree because we don't have any more information than we did last month when we agreed to table it, so.
That's correct.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you do in a case like this? If no one shows up the second time, do we have to make a motion, or we just dismiss it, or what do we do?
There is, and I'm not too familiar with the date, it's either 60 or 90 days after the original, after it's first been heard by the HPC, the HPC must make a decision. So after today, the 90 days or 60 days would not extend to the January meeting, so a decision has to be made today.
Okay.
First, I'll open this up for discussion then. So Emmett's comment there about the new egress window.
It would still be an egress window. See, the egress is from the bottom
Bottom.
sash, so as long as the bottom sash meets egress.
Right. Okay, on both sides of the
Right.
building. Okay.
Yes, so
But
it
it's
still
just
meet
that-
egress.
The top window is or the top sash is
And even
what's
though
in
you see
question.
you only see one window on one side, but to have it matching on both
Right.
sides.
Right, yeah, because you see the other one.
Yeah,
you know.
well, that's right, you're coming from the other
Sure,
direction.
exactly.
So,
Anything regarding would anyone want to revise that motion to say that they're okay to do the work on the other dormers for repairing?
I would agree to
Or
that.
anything on the back windows?
I would agree to that, other than
Just to not
other
hold
than
them
the
up
two
fully
egress
on the
windows,
project?
the two windows
If
on
there's
the-
Well-
agreement that some of that work can be done?
I mean, if you want, we could, I mean, if we're denying it, do we say what we would accept?
Well, I think we can
You
approve it
can
in
approve
part,
parts.
and deny it in part.
Okay, there was also something with the back windows, right? I think
I
there-
think last time
There
we
are
had
two
partially
6 over
approved
6
the, no? No? Okay.
Okay, I would say
Hold on one second. He noted that the stair landing windows have already been approved to be
Right,
replaced with
And
aluminum.
he wasn't really sure about that.
okay.
With that, we need,
All right, so
that we need to verify. Oh, yes, I'm
I
sorry.
move that we approve the stair landing windows as submitted. We do not approve of the front dormer windows being replaced. They should remain and be repaired. The side windows, the opening, we approve the already existing opening. However, the window cannot be 2 units, it must be 1 unit, and the upper sash must be, the arch of the upper sash must be an integral unit, not 2. And we would have to see the new window that they are submitting before we approve it. That make sense?
Yes, are you okay with storm windows being added to those front windows? as
Storm
stated?
windows can be added to any window.
Okay. Do we have a second to the revised motion?
A second.
Questions, clarifications? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none opposed, we'll show the motion has passed.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Was there anything else that was left behind? We took care of, actually, we took care of everybody then
Yeah,
on
we
the list.
did.
Okay, well done. We'll call the meeting adjourned until the next would be January
27th.
27th.